Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm broadcasting this video live from the Sports Radio 810 WHB studios, and I'm going to break down the Kansas City Chiefs' big-time victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Divisional round. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, your Kansas City Chiefs found a way to push through, persevere against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Divisional round, and they won this game by a final score of 27-20 at Arrowhead Stadium. And with this victory, the Kansas City Chiefs have advanced to their 5th consecutive AFC Championship game. Did you hear what I just said? With this win, and at the time of this recording, we have found out that the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Buffalo Bills, which means that this AFC Championship game will be held in Kansas City. The Arrowhead Invitational, the AFC has always run through Kansas City, and it's going to be like that another year. The Kansas City Chiefs have hosted the AFC Championship game for half a decade. 5 consecutive years. That is an unbelievable accomplishment, and we're going to talk about that all throughout the week. But I want to give my thoughts on this game. Most of you probably saw my pregame preview from the stadium, and I was pretty confident going into this game that it was going to be close, and that's exactly what it was. But we saw a lot of different tragedies and a lot of different obstacles that the Chiefs had to overcome to win this game, and I think it really shows how good this team has become overall. Because if you would have told me that Patrick Mahomes would have left this game and the Chiefs would have found a way to win, I'm not sure I would have believed you. Granted, I had full trust in Chad Henne, but you just never know with Chad Henne. But the Chiefs were able to find a way at any cost to win this game. And it's just so special because in the playoffs, it really doesn't matter how you win. It just matters that you win. And the Chiefs did exactly that. So why don't we talk about one of the first drives in the game? The Kansas City Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, went on a magical touchdown drive. It really wasn't that hard. The Chiefs' offense was moving the ball at will, and Patrick Mahomes hit Travis Kelce with a quick 8-yard touchdown pass, and after Harrison Butker successfully nailed a point-after attempt, the Chiefs were up 7-0, and I was kind of feeling really good. I was like, okay, this offense is looking really crisp, and Jacksonville didn't really have any answers on defense, so I was feeling pretty good. Now, what happened next didn't exactly have my confidence at its highest level. With 2:41 left in the first quarter, Patrick Mahomes drifted back into the pocket, took a big deep drop. He stepped up into the pocket to throw, and then Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker Arden Key landed on Patrick Mahomes' right ankle, injuring him and taking him out of the ballgame. He got up after taking that hit, was very in excruciating pain, to say the least. I mean, he was really feeling it. He was hobbling on one leg. He tried to stay in the game. Ultimately, Andy Reid took him out, which was the right call. But everybody in Arrowhead Stadium, all 77,000 Chiefs fans, went silent. It was a hushed crowd and, quite frankly, a shocked crowd because the Chiefs had such a promising start to this playoff game, and it almost seemed like the life got sucked out of the stadium. But to nobody's surprise, really, Chad Henne somehow came in, hadn't played all season, but if you guys remember, Chad Henne has been in this situation before. Back in 2020, when Patrick Mahomes was playing the Cleveland Browns and he got injured with that concussion, Chad Henne came in and won them that damn playoff game. And in this game, Chad Henne came in. By the way, Chad Henne's 37 years old, but Chad Henne came in this game and beautifully orchestrated, a 98-yard touchdown drive, which resulted in a Travis Kelce touchdown pass. I cannot believe that Chad Henne yet again comes up clutch in the divisional round, and if Chad Henne didn't come in this game and give the Chiefs life on offense, there's no guarantee the Chiefs win this game. Based on the final score and kind of how that momentum of the game was going, Chad Henne coming in, playing like a pro, playing like a veteran, we needed that. And he is a big reason why you're able to win this game. And I want to give a quick injury update on Patrick Mahomes. We found out via Adam Schefter that, he went back into the locker room. He had an MRI, or maybe it was just an x-ray, but the MRI results came back, and Patrick Mahomes suffered a high ankle sprain to his right ankle. So it's going to be a little bit questionable in the AFC Championship game. he said post-game that he was going to play. I mean, after he came back for the second half, which we will talk about in this video, I was pretty confident that he was not going to miss this game. But, when the Chiefs had Chad Henne come in, I think that the mindset of the Chiefs at that time was, okay, we're going to put Patrick Mahomes back in the locker room, check him out, make sure that nothing is too serious, and we're just going to have Chad Henne weather the storm. And that's exactly what he did. And I want to give a big shout out to Isaiah Pacheco because he was one of the guys that had that big run on that drive that really set the Chiefs up to get a touchdown like 2 plays later. So Isaiah Pacheco running the ball fantastically. Chad Henne was just that guy. I mean, again, he has just been so good for the Chiefs in these moments, and I really don't understand why. I mean, he wasn't that good as a pro in the NFL, but I think a lot of credit goes to his preparation and just Andy Reid has his guys ready to go, and that's exactly what Chad Henne was ready for. So, like I said, Patrick Mahomes came back in this game. He started the second half, which I thought that he would, but I didn't get to see what exactly happened to Patrick Mahomes' ankle until I checked Twitter. Arden Key landed with his entire body weight on that ankle. So the fact that he was able to come back and play, even though that ankle was in excruciating pain, it shows a lot of the guy that Patrick Mahomes is. And I think that there's a good chance that if he didn't play in this game, you don't win. So it was really important that Patrick Mahomes comes back and try to give you anything, and that's exactly what he did. And I'm not going to lie, he wasn't the same quarterback that he was in the first half, but considering that he damn near had a season-ending injury, I'm going to take what he gave us. I mean, he was a productive quarterback in the second half. He was still moving pretty gingerly. He tried scrambling a couple times, but it just wasn't there. And there was a couple passes that he attempted where you could just tell that that ankle was really bothering him. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs got the job done. Patrick Mahomes persevered through all of that adversity, and they got the job done. And this game obviously went down to the wire. I want to give a big shout out to the Chiefs defense. The Chiefs defense was incredible in this game. They made 2 really big plays down the stretch. The first one being a fumble recovery by Nick Bolton. The fumble was forced by L'Jarius Sneed while the Jacksonville Jaguars were driving in the red zone. That was late in the fourth quarter. If that didn't happen, the Chiefs probably wouldn't have won this game because Jacksonville was really close to scoring there. But unfortunately, the Chiefs went 3 and out after that stop. So the Jacksonville Jaguars still had a very good chance to win this game. But that was when 7th round draft pick Jalen Watson stepped up and made a beautiful one-handed interception on Trevor Lawrence. He fell down, took a knee. Game was basically over at that point. That pick sealed the game. A 7th round draft pick playing meaningful minutes, not only for just the defense, but Isaiah Pacheco on offense too. A 7th round draft pick saved this game. Incredible drafting by Brett Veach. We've talked about it so much in the past, but it's kind of crazy to see some of the later round guys that really step up and make plays that you really just don't expect them to make. So the Chiefs were able to escape this game with the win after really no one expected them to after Patrick Mahomes went out, but they were able to fight through it, persevere through the obstacles that were in front of them, and I think that speaks a lot to the team that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have built. This team is going to be in the AFC Championship game, and they're 1 win away from a Super Bowl, and it feels like they're not playing their best football yet, but they're starting to get there, and that's really all that matters. But I want to go over the stat line really quickly of this game. Patrick Mahomes was 22 of 30 for 195 and 2 touchdowns. Chad Henne was 5 of 7 for 23 and 1 touchdown pass, but I think that we can all agree that Chad Henne's impact on this game was a lot more than 5 for 7 for 23 and 1 touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, again, was that guy in this game. He had 12 rushes for 95 yards, averaging 7.9 yards per attempt, and he was so big on that Chad Henne drive. I mentioned that earlier. Jerick McKinnon had 11 carries for 25 yards. Kadarius Toney had 1 carry for 14. Over to the receiving stats, Travis Kelce, Mr. Playoffs, had 14 receptions for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really quickly, I think we're getting to that point where Travis Kelce is becoming one of, if not the best tight end playoff receivers of all time. Actually, no, he might be the best receiving tight end in the NFL history. We know that. But in the playoffs, he's starting to become one of the best receivers. It's incredible what this guy can do week in, week out. And again, when Patrick Mahomes went out, Travis Kelce was still that guy. He was still able to help this offense and ultimately ended up scoring 2 touchdowns in this game. Without Travis Kelce and the impact that he had, you don't win this game. Kadarius Toney, again, a midseason acquisition. 5 receptions for 36 yards, averaging 7.2 yards per catch. Juju Smith-Schuster, 2 catches for 29 yards. Noah Gray had that big catch on 3rd down, I believe, for 27 yards. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had 1 for 6. Justin Watson had 1 for 12. And Blake Bell had 1 catch for 4 yards. And over to the defensive stats, again, coming into this game, my big belief was as long as you could get to Trevor Lawrence, you would be okay. The Chiefs had 2 sacks in this game. The first being Frank Clark. Who would have thought that Frank Clark would show up in the postseason? This guy, I think, is 1 or 2 sacks away from breaking the NFL postseason sack record, which is absolutely bonkers if you've seen Frank Clark play in the regular season. But he turns it up in the playoffs, and this entire Chiefs defense did. And the second sack was by Derek Nottie, who absolutely trucked Trevor Lawrence and got a big tackle for loss. And the 2 biggest stats were the 2 turnovers. Those turnovers, if they did not happen in the situation that they did, the Chiefs would have really struggled to win this game. 2 turnovers in the final 7 minutes of gameplay was ultimately all the Chiefs defense needed to do to put an end to this game. And I think that this was just such a great team win because the defense picked up the offense, but also the offense picked up the defense. I think that if we can see the Chiefs defense hold the Bengals offense to 24 points next week, we're going to have a really good chance to go back to the Super Bowl. But it's going to be a really good game. And I think that as long as the Chiefs can get Patrick Mahomes back healthy, since that game was played yesterday on a Saturday, the Chiefs are going to have an extra day of rest. But Patrick Mahomes is going to need that rest. I want him to be as healthy as possible going into this game because the Bengals are a fierce team. They can get to the quarterback with 3 guys, and I didn't really see outside of that one hit to Patrick Mahomes, the Jacksonville Jaguars pass rush wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And that's a testament to how good the Chiefs' offensive line was in both the running game and the passing game. So I think that moving forward, as long as Patrick Mahomes can be somewhat healthy, I mean, it's a high ankle sprain. He's not going to be 100%, and I don't think that anybody should expect him to be 100%. But as long as he is good enough to go, I think he gives you a really good chance to win. And defensively, I mean, what the Chiefs did in this game was nothing short of spectacular. I mean, again, Trevor Lawrence was hot coming into this game. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL over the past 8 or 9 weeks, and the Chiefs, for the most part, shut him down. I mean, he had an interception. He had a couple times in this game where, quite frankly, he just looked rattled. I mean, let's look at his stats. He was 24 of 39 for 205, had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. That's pretty good. I would take that 9 times out of 10, and it's why the Chiefs were able to, for the most part, shut down Jacksonville's offense. So, guys, how are we feeling? I mean, the Chiefs, yet again, are going back to the AFC Championship game, a game that is no stranger to them at this point. Like I said, it's basically the Arrowhead Invitational. This game is there every single year, but this year it feels a little bit different. Last year, the Cincinnati Bengals came into Kansas City, upset the Chiefs, and that shocked a lot of people. I think it shocked a lot of people within the organization. This is your chance at redemption. This is your chance to right last year's wrongs and fix the mistakes that you made last year. And if you can take down the Bengals in the 4th meeting and finally get that monkey off your back and beat them for the first time, it would be so special. It would be so incredibly special. And as painful as last year's AFC Championship game would be, I doubt that we would look back at that game and think about it too much. So guys, what an incredible playoff win for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs were able to take down the Jacksonville Jaguars by a final score of 27-20, and with this win, the Chiefs advanced to their 5th consecutive AFC Championship game. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also check out the website. The link is in the description for kcsportsreport.com. I've been posting articles frequently and just updating you guys about the state of the team via writing. You can also check out the social medias. Instagram is KC_sportsreport and Twitter is @KCSportsReport. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video and go Chiefs!